Welcome, everybody. Thank you guys all for being here today. I hope you're having a lovely week. I hope it's like normal temperature outside wherever you are. But it's probably not because it's the middle of August. Um, and yeah, welcome to our weekly FireStride chat. So this week, we have a lot going on in the Stride world, but just a couple things that we really want to focus on with you. And I'll start from the community side. I do want to share with you all in case you missed it, we are doing a Stride merch voting contest. So you should have seen in the announcements on Discord that we basically put out a few different cool merch designs that are aligned with our new branding, some t-shirts, some hats, of course, the classic bucket hat, the fan favorite. Things like this. And we created a form that you guys can actually offer your opinion on what the coolest designs are. And theoretically speaking, if you were to ever wear any of this merch, which merch would you be most likely to wear and be interested in? So I'm going to go ahead and drop this form to you guys in the chat in case you haven't seen it yet. But I would really love it for everybody here to fill it out, especially because, this is sort of, we're not advertising this on the main Twitter or anything. This is definitely kind of an internal community opportunity. But for the people who do fill out the form, there is going to be everybody who fills it out is going to be entered into a raffle, and we will pick 5 winners to win a piece of Stride merch, which is super cool because I would value it rather high because it's very cool merch. And so yeah, we'll send you that, and then the rest of the merch the designs that you guys vote on, we will bring them to Cosmoverse and be repping them more publicly, and you can feel great about yourself because you know that you contributed to that design. But the form does close tomorrow at 9 p.m. UTC. So please fill it out before then if you are interested in having your voice heard. And we can talk a little bit more in the future coming weeks about what merch opportunities look like as far as, is this merch ever going to be available on a wider scale? Is it only going to be available through contests and things like that? The answer is we don't know yet. But the conversation is open, so we can talk about that more. But if you have questions, let me know. But that is the main thing that I wanted to share from the community perspective right now. I think I'll pass the mic to Riley because I think I'm just as excited as you guys are to hear about the launch of our new ST token, ST SOM.
Hey, thanks for pulling me up. So I'll jump right in because I have to run at half past the hour, but I think we have 25 full minutes to explore this in depth. So I'll start by maybe just explaining what SOM is, who the people involved are, and maybe how it works at a high level, and then we can talk about what is ST-SOM, what does that mean for DeFi users, what is a vault, all that good stuff. And I want to make this interactive, so please post some questions in the chat. I can take those live as you ask them. Maybe even pull some people up on stage. We can talk about it together. So let's start from the beginning. What is SOM? So Cosmos app chains are unique in that they can act as the controller or the puppeteer. Basically, they can send commands out to other chains in a very versatile way. And most of the locked value in crypto sits on Ethereum, but sending commands out from Ethereum itself is expensive because gas costs are quite high, and it's not quite as flexible because the Cosmos SDK gives you a little bit more fine-grained control of what you might be able to do. It also allows you to send commands in a way that's decentralized, that relies on a validator set rather than a multi-sig. So a team composed of a few folks that you're probably familiar with in Cosmos decided to build SOM to solve some of these problems. And some of the folks in the team are Zaki. I think Jack Zamplin helped start it as well. And then the third co-founder, I don't know her very well, but I think her last name is Polsam. But They work closely together to build raise some funding, and they built an app chain within Cosmos. So the Cosmos SDK chain running Tendermint, and it basically serves as a home for strategies that investors can deploy to invest money over in Ethereum. So the SOM chain connects to Ethereum and allows people to deposit ETH and USDC and Uniswap token, all the common tokens over on ETH, to then be allocated according to the strategies that these investors program up in a code first way. So the strategies that are deployed will allocate some money to maybe USDC on Aave or STETH, and then they collect the yield and reinvest the rewards. And the person who deploys the strategies makes some money off of a management fee and a performance fee. And the SOM chain makes some money off the top, so they take a cut. And then the rest of it goes to the person who deployed money into that strategy. So they're hoping to beat the market. And that's basically what a vault looks like when people talk about vaults in general. But SOM deploys very specific vaults that are Ethereum based but controlled by a Cosmos chain. I'll pause there for a sec and see if anyone has questions. It's a bit of a strange setup where the vaults are in Ethereum, but the controller chain is in Cosmos. And when I first learned about SOM, I was confused because I thought, hey, why would they not build vaults in Cosmos? The short answer is that there's just not enough liquidity yet. They might do that eventually.
Well, Moons is just commenting that I like Josh, their CMs. Another whale has deposited Ethereum on Somali real yield vault every other day. And then OG ETH says, is there a certain amount for staking?
Yeah. So to hit the first point, yeah, SOM's TVL has been growing pretty quickly. It's up and to the right, basically. And yeah, lots of whales are depositing. Is there a certain amount for staking? I think you might be referring to staking SOM or staking ST SOM. And no, there's no minimum. You can stake as much as you want or as little as you want. But the vaults don't have much to do with staking. They just invest money. So anyway, SOM is fairly new. I think they launched around October, so I guess that's about as old as Stride. They didn't have much usage until they launched their first strategy called Real Yield USD. If you click on the DeFi on the link I put in the chat, you can see the timeline of their TVL and when they launched new strategies. You'll see that in late January, they launched Real Yield USD, which is basically a strategy that will take stablecoins and invest them across various venues in Ethereum in order to maximize the yield that the depositor would earn on those stablecoins. So they might put some in Aave, some in Compound. Others might collateralize a stablecoin like Curve's stablecoin, and so forth, to earn the most yield that the depositor can possibly earn. I think their SOM has over 25 million in TVL now, so it's very exciting, and Zaki's behind it, so it gets a lot of attention. They recently launched, or not so recent, but in April, the latest strategy go live was called Real Yield ETH, and it's the same idea as Real Yield USD, but instead of earning returns on USD and yield on USD, that tries to earn returns and yield on ETH. And guess how it does that? It does that with liquid staking derivatives. So it allocates money across STETH and RETH and the other liquid staking derivatives in order to get the most yield possible for folks who hold Ethereum. So that's SOM in short. It's pretty new, but it's growing fast, and it's a very, very exciting project.
So just to recap really quick, and just kind of summarize to make sure we're all on the same page. So for those people who like maybe aren't super familiar with SOM or just kind of are like, okay, I got all that, but like, can you shorten it for me? Would you say like in essence, Somalia is kind of like a home for strategies for investors that you want to invest money over in Ethereum, but but Somalia kind of sort of presents those strategies. Like, is Somalia like a strategy generator in a way in that sense? Or like because when you say like we've got like real yield USD, real yield ETH, you know what I mean? Like, what is the is that like, I guess you would say like one of the primary functions of Somalia is like presenting these strategies so people can use them, or do people ever bring their own strategies to this? I'm a little confused on that element of it.
Yeah, it's a good question. So it's a marketplace with two sides. You're either a consumer of the strategy, meaning you deposit money and try to earn a return on it, or you're a producer of the strategy, meaning you might be like a fund manager or an investor who thinks they can beat the market or thinks they can allocate crypto assets in a high quality way. And so you would come to the platform, Sommelier, and you would write some code that represents your strategy, and then try to talk to the consumers to get them to use yours. So in the same way that like Amazon is a two-sided marketplace where people can sell items on it and people can buy, Sommelier is also a two-sided marketplace. You can sell your strategy, or you can consume a strategy. And to consume it, you have to pay a little management fee. But Sommelier itself does not build the strategies. They just host the infrastructure on this Cosmos SDK blockchain that allows for this marketplace to exist.
Okay, that makes sense. Thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah, totally. And real yield USD and real yield ETH, I'm not sure who built those, but they are live on the platform. Talk real quickly about the SOM token. So it is a Cosmos token. So it trades on Osmosis and a few other places. I think it's also bridged to Ethereum, so you might be able to trade it on Uniswap, maybe some centralized exchanges as well. But it has a staking APR of 9 or 10%. And I think it also earns some real yield. So the part of the fees that you pay if you deposit into these vaults go to the protocol itself. And I think they're swapped back into SOM and then paid out as staking yield. But I'm not totally sure, so don't quote me on that. In any case, the effective yield that you earn if you stake SOM is like 9 or 10%. And the SOM team wants folks to use SOM as collateral. So why would you want to sacrifice 9 or 10% when you're using SOM as collateral? Instead, use ST-SOM, earn the 9 or 10%, and collateralize. So that's why Stride is collaborating with SOM, and we're launching ST-SOM probably, well, this might be some alpha, but I think it might be coming in the next few days. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday. So that'll go live. I think there'll be an airdrop as well, though I don't have the details on that. And ST-SOM should hopefully be listed as collateral on several venues around Cosmos. So maybe Nitron DMX, maybe UMI, and who knows, maybe some of the others as well. So super exciting. Basically, if you hold ST-SOM, you'll earn the rewards that are paid out as part of this investment strategy marketplace. And at the same time, you can borrow against that ST-SOM or collateralize a stablecoin with it. So we're very, very excited about this token, and hopefully it'll make a big splash.
Definitely. Yeah, thank you for that overview. That's super exciting that we have this coming, and also just some really exciting to have kind of a new ST token that is connected to a project that is like relatively unique compared to not that every project in Cosmos isn't unique. I'm definitely not saying that, but I just mean this is a little bit different than some of the projects that we've already integrated with. So I think this will be kind of an exciting exploration for all of our users, for sure. And I see someone in the chat says it shows Cosmos thrives in all ecosystems, which I think is a good observation. Yeah. Yeah, Cosmos has made itself very relevant beyond the Cosmos, which is very cool.
Yeah, someone is asking about the SOM ST-SOM pool as well. That'll come at launch, I think. I think the SOM team is going to spin that up. And Moons, yeah, as you're asking about Z Stark using Tendermint. Yeah, there's been a lot of chatter recently about some of the bigger Ethereum-based projects potentially moving over to their own app chains or adopting Tendermint as a consensus algorithm for their sequencers, um, which seems to be pretty promising. But I haven't seen any rollups do it or any L2s on Ethereum do it yet.
What would the implications of them doing that be?
Um, Basically, the way L2s on Ethereum work is they perform actions, like they run transactions, but those transactions aren't reflected on Ethereum mainnet until maybe every 10 transactions or maybe every 100 transactions they get posted back to the mainnet, and mainnet updates to reflect those changes. And the piece of technology that decides how to order the 10 transactions or the 100 transactions when they're posted back to Ethereum mainnet is the sequencer. So Tendermint is a candidate for that piece of technology. It could be used to run that piece of technology in a way that isn't controlled by a single entity. People complain often about L2s like Coinbase's network being controlled by a single entity, where that entity could change the order of the 10 or 100 transactions in such a way that yours might be deprioritized or you might lose money on your trades. So making the process of ordering those transactions open and transparent is a top priority, and Tendermint is an algorithm that allows you to do that. So it's currently only used in Cosmos chains, but might be used over on Ethereum as well soon.
I guess I just haven't thought about how like that could make such a huge difference is literally like the order of transactions on chain and how that could be manipulated even through like a mechanism that's meant to secure the chain, depending on who's operating it.
It's an age-old problem with high-frequency trading and traditional finance. The same issue. Someone would submit a trade, and then the trader would get in front of them. But we're seeing that in crypto today. Anyway, very bullish for Cosmos, and very exciting. SOM is a project that helps build awareness about Cosmos over in some of the other ecosystems where, admittedly, there's more investment. So it's important to cross pollinate, I think.
Totally. Totally. Yeah, hopefully I think I'm just thinking from like community perspective, it'll be cool to have kind of the project of creating resources to onboard users from outside the ecosystem, so they know how to kind of interact with this integration. But since because this might be like the first Cosmos app that they get to witness, because they'll have come over, through this pathway. And I think it'll be cool to have, just a different population of people to kind of consider how we can acclimate them into Cosmos and into liquid staking with us.
Well said.
Well, guys, we got about 8 minutes left, and Riley's got to jump at the hour or at the half hour, and usually we close the call after about 30 minutes. So I really want to take the next 8 minutes. If you guys have anything on your mind, any questions, obviously we'd love to hear what you're thinking about with the conversation that we just had. But it's also totally okay if something else completely different is on your mind and you want to share that. But yeah, now's a great time to raise your hand. You can share in the chat. You can do anything. But yeah, make this time worth it for you. I see Bumble in the chat said, I haven't even heard of it, referring to the Z Stark situation. It's high time Cosmos showed the people who owns the metaverse. And then I see Great UA says, Stride, you have made many airdrops already, and I didn't get any of them because I'm too small in number of coins, which I hold for a long time already. The problem, the price is down, but someone can just buy now and receive some airdrop. Try to solve it. Riley, what does this make you think about or feel to read?
Let's see. So the way Stride has done airdrops in the past has been kind of the traditional way, where you snapshot all the stakers, and then you set a threshold for the maximum size of an account, and then you set a threshold for the minimum size of an account. And between those two numbers, you scale the airdrop up or down linearly. The reason you put a cap is so that no single big whale can get too much. And the reason you put a minimum is so that the airdrop is efficient and doesn't clog up or stop the chain, because there are so many small accounts that if you were to send a little bit to all the people who hold a tiny amount, then that can cause issues. So I think Great UA is saying that they had too few coins to be eligible. I think in the past, the minimums have been set around $10 to $100 worth of tokens staked. So if you had less than that, you probably didn't get anything. They're also saying someone can buy now and receive airdrop. I'm not sure that's true, because the snapshots are always in the past, and so you can't buy now and get an airdrop. But if you stake 779 SOM, you might be below the threshold. That's right. 779 SOM is about $95 worth. Yeah, so and that might be just below the threshold. They're always set based on how many accounts there are and the efficiency. So sorry, Great UA, if you're below that.
Thanks for clarifying that, Riley. I think that's probably a little bit of a black box for a lot of people, as far as like, if with airdrop logic generally, because it might be a little different everywhere. But yes, sorry about that, Great UA. I hope next time you're able to get a little good out of your airdrop. But SHA256 says, Akash been ripping with the AI narrative recently. Any updates on what it would take to get ST Akash? I heard they need to update their chain to enable ICA. Is that correct?
For Akash, yeah, SHA-256 from Orbital Command, you're well informed. I think someone from the team spoke with Boz or someone from Akash. I think Boz is their CTO. And I think they are adding ICA and then planning to open the pull request to Stride that would add them. So they need to add ICA, which might be coming in one of their upcoming upgrades. And then I guess the next step would be to onboard them. Pretty exciting. Yeah, Akash is a cool project. That's also a marketplace, but it's a marketplace for, you guys probably already all know this, but it's a marketplace for compute. So it's like Amazon Web Services, but as a chain.
Nice. That's super cool.
Yeah, it's super unique and something that's another Cosmos, like special, unique Cosmos use case. Any other DeFi uses of ST assets coming up? Well, the big one is Agoric. I think we may have mentioned this in the past 2 calls, but it's moving along. Stride put up a proposal on Agoric's forum that would list ST Atom as collateral for the IST, the Inter stablecoin, and looks pretty promising. So I think they're doing some work to make the Oracle reliable, and then who knows, you might see a governance proposal up on the Agoric blockchain to onboard ST Atom. That would be pretty exciting, because IST is a very very reliable, risk conscious team, and when building stablecoins in Cosmos, you need that, given the history. So, and yeah, a good point, Moons. There's a lack of stablecoins in Cosmos. You have the USK, you have CMST from Comdex, USK is from Kujira, but that's about it. Once we have USDC, that will probably be some kind of feud between the centralized stablecoins and the decentralized, but it'll be important to have a reliable, safe alternative like IST that can be collateralized in a economically sound way by earning yield on your atom. Yeah, USDC is taking forever, but it seems like it's coming soon. I saw Yelena post something about it, so hopefully that's just a few weeks out.
Wow. Well, Thank you, Riley, so much for walking us through so many exciting updates. I think with the really soon upcoming launch of ST SOM and the just the other things that you've mentioned with potentially ST Akash coming at some point and then onboarding ST Atom as collateral with Agoric. There's just a lot to look forward to, and I hope that people feel kind of inspired after this. But real quick, shameless plug one more time, guys. Don't forget to fill out the Stride merch voting contest form. It's in the announcements. I really, really, really would love it if you did that. So thank you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to type to us in the general chat and we'll get to you. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thanks for joining. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.